Hey, so before I was taking a video of Lori Gomez's car, and I was showing how I was beginning to tear down, and I was showing the torque converter bolts that were still tight. Now, obviously, I've had to remove said torque converter bolts to get to this current position that I'm in. I was gonna make sure I got no kneel on any crud. So her complaint after we installed the Everett's Auto Parts transmission was that the car lost power. Okay, understandable. So we took the car in, we were really slammed with work. We told her we'll take a look at it and we'll get to tearing the vehicle down. I was able to tear the vehicle down partially and verify this, but I couldn't get a good video of it. So here we are today. I have the replacement part behind me right there, good to go. And we have our transmission that we installed back in January. So just to let you know what's going on is, what happened is she claimed that we didn't have any of the bolts tight. I haven't gotten a socket yet to unbolt these. I actually don't even know what size they are. The only sockets I have available are the turbo sockets that I needed to take the strip bolt out for the vacuum line for the motor mount right there. And then this guy, which is a 14, which could actually, oh, what do you know, that is the size. But funny enough, we have these two are the only ones out, and the one on my gun is still the turbo socket from freeing up the last bit to remove the transmission. The reason why I'm taking this video is to cover my ass in a way, excuse my language, because Lori claimed that we did a lot of damage to this vehicle, and she claimed that she's going to take us to court and teach us a legal lesson. So I just want to make sure that my myself is included, it's covered. So we're just going to go ahead, we're going to replace this part. I'm going to charge her for the part. I'm not going to charge her for my time that I've spent to completely dissect her car for her. But, you know, I just want to make sure that it is clear that, you know, this took a little longer because we weren't intending on charging her any labor. We did have the vehicle apart, and we did have it to this point before. Now, when we put the vehicles back together, if we were to have damaged this, you would definitely see, you know, these holes being ovaled out. You would see these holes all being ovaled out that are responsible for the torque converter itself. You would see these studs being damaged. You would see like a bunch of wear marks on the back, but as you can tell, everything is nice and clean as it should be. There's no damage to the converter. There's no fluid leaking in the converter area. That's just a little coolant that's just been dripping down from these hoses up here. So here we go. At the end of the day, we have a vehicle that, you know, essentially the best way to describe it is the flywheel flex plate broke. And I don't want to let this engine tip because it's starting to get a little unbalanced because I just finished pulling that tranny out. I actually haven't even had a chance to secure that motor, so give me 1 sec. I'm going to pause the video. I'm going to secure the motor up in the air so then I can remove this flex plate. And so when I come back, I'm going to have this flex plate removed, motor supported. The tranny, I'm going to leave it right there where it sits, and you'll see exactly what I'm saying. Okay, I am back. I am here recording. I actually have not removed said flywheel yet. I wanted to actually do it on camera so we can show. Okay, so I got a little distracted there at the end of the clip. The reason why is the motor just started teetering a little bit with my hand on it. I thought it was more essential to get the video footage just to show that I wasn't tampering with anything beforehand. I haven't even finished wiping up the floor yet when I was pulling the tranny back. So let's go ahead and I'm going to remove these on camera. So my 3/8 gun should be strong enough. I haven't taken these out yet. I'll put the camera in a way that it can be visible to everyone involved here. Grab my gun, and I will go ahead and I'll zip these bolts out. And hopefully, you know. Oh yeah, the one time I go to make a video, my socket stuck on the tool. So that flywheel or flex plate is synonym. Flywheels are just typically the name for the one inside of a manual car, for example. And then a flex plate is going to be the one that's going to be more on like an automatic. But when you're talking about it and you say one or the other, it refers to the same part in the same location of the vehicle. So the purpose of this part is you have your teeth up all around it. These teeth will be engaged by the starter. The starter on this vehicle sits right around here, up on the top left. So her complaint was when she was going down the road, she lost power. Well, that would make sense too, because this little guy right here, he's a sensor. This little sensor, that's, I don't know if it's on camera, but it should be. Make sure that we're getting it. Okay, that sensor right there, this guy, he is responsible for counting these wheels. Now, obviously, I'm not spinning the engine at all. The engine's staying still. The crankshaft in the middle is staying perfectly still. I need to make that very clear. I'm sorry, but it doesn't seem like when I speak with Lori that she has a lot of mechanical knowledge, and there is nothing wrong with that. But I don't want to be accused of doing damage to someone's vehicle without being able to have a means of defending myself. So I'm going to try to make this as explanatory as possible. I'm sorry if it comes off as mundane or rude by that matter. I'm not trying to be. So all the bolts are now removed from the flywheel. I'm going to take this. You have a washer in the front that's going to go to your guide pin in the corner. I'm going to put this right to the side. We're going to take our flywheel and we're going to remove it down. So what we have here is a flywheel, and that's the broken piece inside of the flywheel. And now this happens just because of age. This is not the first flywheel that I've seen do this. I've seen Chevys, I've seen Fords, I've seen other vehicles do this too. It is not unique to Nissan. This is not a part that comes with the transmission. This is a part that stays with the engine at all times. Whenever we buy a transmission, we don't get new flex plates. So I got a flex plate right here, and we're going to install that one onto Lori's vehicle, so that way we can go ahead and have the vehicle work. Now that sensor on the back doesn't read the teeth on the front. That's for the starter to grab. That's called the ring gear. And then these teeth on the back are what the actual CKP will read. We know it as a crank position sensor. And the crank position sensor is responsible for telling the computer when to administer spark at certain times. So I'm going to put my camera right back over here. I'm going to put that all set up and propped. And we're going to go ahead and slide this back up in here. And that's good to go. So now you can see with this one installed and firmly installed, not even with any bolts yet, I can't spin this ring. That's because the center is not blown out. I'm sorry for making this sound maybe longer than what it should be, or dumb, or dumbing it down for that matter. But that's genuinely seems to be the indication that we have here, is that, you know, I damaged the vehicle, which I don't want to be responsible for the damage being done, because this is a common fail point on vehicles. I understand the timing of it is absolutely impeccable, but I would have preferred if that this didn't happen, and we are not necessarily responsible when the inside of a flywheel decides to disintegrate itself. So I'm also going to send a part of this video clip to Lori, and I'll send her a what do you call it there, a shortened one over text, because I think this will be a little too long to send. But I just want to make sure that, you know, my bases are covered. I'm going to go get my torque wrench, lock the motor up in the front, make sure that I can you know, lock all these bolts down and put a little Loctite on them at the same time. But I just want to make sure that I don't lose them while I go ahead and make another video and just kind of show how this works. But yeah, thank you for watching. I am not done installing that, obviously, so we're going to have to, you know, just make sure we get some photos of everything here and go from there. But thank you.